Yo, what up? This your boy World in Arizona. We came, we saw, we had to fight. So look, today I'm just gonna go ahead and share a couple things that I seen today. I figured I had to speak on it. I was debating on this. I don't know whether I was gonna speak on it or not, but I seen that Bill Cosby got out, and you know, that's a victory for him. That's definitely a victory for him. I don't think he did it, but it's a whole different story here that I'm noticing, right? Like, so he was in there for like almost 3 years. He was incarcerated. So when them charges came out, he was tried and convicted. Now that conviction was overturned because of wrongdoing with the court system over in Pennsylvania. So that right there lets me know that there was possibly some corruption involved, to the point where it was a play that was made just to put him in prison. You know, so I just can't support that. He might have did it. You know, he might have did that shit. But what we look like get mad because he did his time. You know, everybody's saying that that the victims didn't get justice. He was locked up for it. And so what it seems like nobody's willing to forgive. And I feel like that's probably something between him, his family, and the victims and their family, as opposed to how they want to go about it. But I see that everybody got something to say negative about him. But see, now this is where it gets crazy, because people got mad when I said that earlier, and they said, so you just gonna support a sex offender like that? You just gonna support a sex offender like that? Well, the courts had to do some manipulative stuff that ended up not being legal. So y'all can say what you want, but those charges was vacated because honestly they can't even prove that he is one. But for argument's sake, saying that he is a sex offender, he did his time. And at one point in time, people were doing egregious, forcible crimes to people. I'm not gonna get into the names of it, because that's not really, you know, some supported language on this forum. But at the same time, at one point in time, people was getting out a whole lot earlier. And I figured that maybe they wanted to make stern punishments, so that's why they stopped sentencing people and letting them out just by doing a quarter of their time. But what I found out was that it's actually just to keep people in, because people is a number to the system, to our federal and state taxes that pay to house by the thousands each individual in these prison camps. We pay for that. And if there were a shortage of people coming in, it's already obvious that the CCA, which is the corporation that run the corporations that run the prisons of America, it's obvious that they would do something to prevent that from happening. Whether it be, let's pay a judge to make sure that these kids who was just having an argument actually do some real prison time, or let's pay some money and let's make sure these kids go to prison because they've been on drugs. But now you see that there's so many people on drugs. We ain't gonna say why, but it's so many people on drugs right now, and they finally realize that, oh, now that the drugs might be a sickness, it's not a crime. So you know that there's going to be something done to compensate them numbers. It's just plain and simple. So I can't support a system that looks at a person as a product and says, regardless of what their rights are, let's put them in jail. And then I can't really sit back and watch these people just go along with it like it's okay. You know, at one point in time, we fought for rights and we had things passed in Constitution. Now we just argue with each other while one person, the Speaker of the House, get to control everything that's happening to everybody in America. We used to at least have somewhat of a say-so, but that's out. So no, I can't. I get where some of you may say, oh, Bill Cosby's guilty. You know, he didn't serve his time. What about Matt Lauer? And I bet Harvey Weinstein get out while he's alive. Y'all don't want to talk about it, but it's probably going to happen. He probably going to get reductions, and them appeals is going through. And y'all think that it's the same thing as R. Kelly. Let me tell you something. R. Kelly did that shit. He did it. There's no way around it. He recorded it and showed you himself. You don't have to ask him if he did it. He told you he did it. He let you know. So, shout out to his honesty. He admitted it. But since he did that, that's a whole different situation. Then somebody else said it was the same as Chris Brown. That again is a whole nother situation. We know Chris Brown did it. We saw the pictures. Man, he fought her like it was a world championship fight. And sitting down. I imagine you pissing him off ain't going to be a good move. But they want to bring his name into it on account of just looking at black men saying, let's charge them. Okay, well, you can charge them in the court of public opinion. But now, when we talk about just incarcerating people, going willy-nilly without evidence, now you're supporting a whole different system. You might be into fascism. So, that's all I pretty much had to say about that. I wasn't going to take up too much of your time. Me personally, I'm glad Bill Cosby got out. But, he been in the game for a long time, and I know he was popping them Quaaludes. People, you've been in the game since the 50s. They was popping Quaaludes back in the day. That was the thing, They'd be like, I'm about to have a Quaalude and a coffee. I'm about to have a Quaalude and a Coke. And the Coke had Coke in it. I'm just saying that he was in a situation where that might have been a part of his coach. And Hollywood got a lot of sick people. And they just mad at Bill Cosby. The only thing I'm mad at him is that he looked down on people like me. The people they struggle in this game. They struggle in this comedy. They struggle in this music. And then you got the person that's at the top of the mountain, him and Steve Harvey, taking every shot they can take to make this black entertainer look bad. As if they the only person that ever did something. So I hope Steve Harvey don't ever get caught up in no scandal or nothing crazy like that. And I mean that, because the last thing we need is for him to see that everybody gonna turn on you the same way you turn on them. That's what they gonna do to you. You thinking that, oh yeah, you old school, you kicking it, you get to talk, all this crazy reckless stuff about these people, and it's alright. But just don't get caught up in nothing yourself, because these streets is ruthless. You know what I'm saying? They jocking you fresh today, and the minute you catch a charge, they're gonna be talking about, oh, that nigga crazy with his banana suits. So just hopefully Steve don't have to go through that. And this your boy World in Arizona, signing out.